Hey guys, today we are going to take a little break from the Nakshatra series and we will talk about planets in the 8th house. So, what does 8th house represent? 8th house is all related with longevity. 8th house is about death. 8th house is all about the certain events in your life. Eighth house is about thinking outside of the box. Eighth house has to do with your thought process. What's your main, usually what is the thought that you are most attracted to? Alright, so some people keep dreaming about something, like it can be good thing, it can be bad thing, and so that's mainly that can be seen from your eighth house. Now let's see what's the effect of different planets in this house. All right, starting with Sun. So if you have Sun in the 8th house, assuming there are no other aspects, Sun is in good condition, this guy will be famous among people. They like to challenge their enemies. Most of the times they win. They do have some delays in begetting progeny. They will have weak eyesight. Yeah, so you'll find these guys to wear glasses, contacts, getting LASIK done. All right. They will have issues with the piles. In terms of body strength, they will have, most of the people I have seen in the horoscope, they have less body strength. These guys are affluent. They are interested in knowing more about people. Sometimes I have seen like these people get toxic as well. But again, like it all depends on the combination. If you have Sun, Mercury, Mars, if it's aspected by Saturn, not in a good situation, then sometimes these people can be toxic. Anyway, so these guys are interested in people. They like talking to people. They're good listeners as well. They're not much focused on the career. They are usually more interested in listening to others' problems. And sometimes, depending on the position of the sun, these guys can be more tempted towards the dark side. They're interested in astrology. Few folks that I know turn out to be good astrologers as well with this combination. That's about sun. Let's move on to moon. So if you have moon in the 8th, these guys go through a lot of turbulence because what is moon? Moon is all about your mind. So during full moon or new moon day, these guys have a lot of ups and downs. These guys also like challenges. Sometimes they just have to gather enough strength. If the Mars is not right, then the challenges might feel like a lot. Even like small set of challenges will seem like a mountain. They are liberal, they are generous people, they are witty, their sense of humor is only understood by few. These guys are learned, they like to learn a lot, explore a lot of hidden subjects, what's out there. When I say hidden, it can be anything. It can be occult, it can be digging deep, it can be more into research. But these guys like to learn a lot. They are intelligent because of the same, like reading a lot of books. And as I said, like there are a lot of fluctuations in the emotions. At one time they'll be happy, but at other time you might not understand them. Like they'll be in shaky mood. It's only after 35 and once they realize that that's an issue that they have, it can be related due to their childhood. It can be related due to their upbringing, due to the people they came in contact with. Bottom line being they have to understand and realize their emotions and work on them. If they don't, and the worst scenario I've seen people getting depressed and it takes some time to come out of this depression. So it's very essential for this kind of people to maintain the balance, do some meditation, to have confidence in themselves more often than not. So that's your moon in 8th. If you have Mars in 8th, these guys are rich, they are leader in the society. One thing to observe here, for the folks who have Mars in 8th, they become Manglik. It's called as Manglik Dosh. And then you have to find your spouse who also has such kind of similar kind of combination, like they're Manglik or a couple of other factors like taking Saturn into account. So this makes an individual Manglik. They are usually aggressive, and that reflects in their marriage as well. There are troubles in marriage, I've seen multiple domestic violence issues due to Mars and for folks, some of the folks who have Mars in 8th. It all depends on the combination. If Mars has aspect of Jupiter, things might not be that bad. If Mars has aspect of Saturn or Rahu, Ketu, things could be a little bad. These guys have large eyes. They might have issues with the eyesight. Again, it goes the same as in Sun. Like you might have some surgery done. You might have to wear glasses, contacts, and these guys suffer due to any kind of blood disorders and disorders related with private organs. They might have trouble in their work office due to peers, so it's often advised not to show over aggression, and there will be trouble by their enemies as well. So the enemies is going to be equal or more powerful than them, and it's going to be a very close net fight, and even sometimes enemies may overpower this individual. So it's very essential that you keep your emotions in check. You don't come out as too aggressive in front of people, and the same in terms of your communication as well. You don't reflect the same. Moving on to Mercury, if you have Mercury over here, these guys can be lawyers, they can be chartered accountants, these guys are rich, and sometimes if you have Mercury in its own sign, then they get things so in their platter itself. So people might come to them with a job offers, they might get some business offers, partnership offers to them. Society looks upon to these individuals, they are known for their skills. They are long-lived, they maintain good health, and sometimes they do suffer from windy disorders like can be cough, cold, and these guys may die at a holy place. So towards like in their late 60s, 70s, they like to visit holy places, and it may so often happen that they may die at this holy place. All right, moving on to excuse me. Moving on to Jupiter, so if you have Jupiter in the 8th, these guys again like to read a lot. They are quite intelligent, they are learned, they have long life. One thing they lack is the skill of time management. So it's very essential for them to manage their time wisely, to have some kind of a routine, timetable, and make sure they are occupied and the right activities. They are self-focused, and sometimes they might have chronic discomforts. It might last for a long time. These guys, for one reason or the other, instead of working 100%, 150%, they're not given enough credit for their work. So sometimes their credit is being stolen by some other folk. They do try to stand up, but it's of no use. But still, that doesn't mean you don't have to stand up for yourself. Make sure you stand up for yourself. If the environment is not right, change the environment, be it at the job place or be it in the kind of a business you have, whatever the case may be. So make sure like you don't take it to the heart. Keep on exploring, the right kind of opportunity. When you're at the right place at the right time, you will know for yourself. Just believe in whatever you're doing. They may not live with their father for a long time due to multiple reasons, and it again depends on the aspect that you have. The planet is in conjunction with the planet or the sign it's placed in. And that's about Jupiter. Let's move on to Venus. If you have Venus in the 8th, you have to be careful. I mean, in terms of your relationships with the opposite gender, sometimes you might land into troubled waters in your own marriage. You will have a long life. You'll have all the luxuries, all the comforts, amenities. Um, you live a rich life. You like to show off as well, and there might be some disease related to reproductive organs. So maintain a balanced healthy diet, maintain a balanced lifestyle, and these individuals, they like eating spicy food. Sometimes they like to drink a lot, and yeah, so you have to be cognizant about all your surroundings. You have to choose your friends wisely, and make sure you don't end up into situations which later on causes problem in your own domestic life. All right, moving on to Saturn. If you have Saturn over here, Saturn usually likes its house, but the aspects that it has on the 10th, 2nd, and 5th, that creates some problem. So Saturn over here is going to give you a long life. It makes this individual brave, depending Saturn is in good position. They will have issues with eyesight. You will have glasses at an early age. They'll have delays in begetting progeny as well. They might have some discomfort at the age of 35, and it all depends if there is a Saturn, I mean like Saturn return happens during 30 or early 30s. So in that case, somewhere like 28 or maybe sometime like 30, close to 30, like 31, 32. In this case, there might be some discomfort, some lessons to be learned. And in terms of your career, your profession, you might get appreciation, delayed appreciation. It may not be like, hey, this person, something he does good, he gets a shout out, everybody everywhere he's appreciated. It may not be the same case with you. You might have to work a bit harder on that, but eventually you'll all get it. All the pieces will come together and you will be recognized in the society, and you'll have a big name and fame for yourself. Just keep on working hard, the results are there. All right, moving on to Rahu. So if you have Rahu over here, these guys, they like challenges. They should be especially careful of heights. There is a fear of enemies. You should be especially careful about gambling, like not to gamble a lot. There are chances you might lose money in stocks or any kind of option trading that you're doing, forex. You might lose money in that. Be extra careful on it. Use your inheritance money wisely. There might be some issues with the eyesight. Be very careful with that, like not to hurt your eyes. Be careful with the heights as well. Don't try something like skydiving or this. Be very careful with that, and be careful of your enemies as well. As is often said, like get your friends close, but get your enemies even closer. So keep a check on them. So that's all about Rahu in the 8th. If you have Ketu, these guys are hardworking. They know how to get their way to the top. They like to acquire more and more wealth, and they get success as well. They are rich and they have all the luxuries that one can think of. They are more attracted towards opposite gender, and you need to be cognizant over here that you don't end up spending all your time and energy on wooing the opposite sex, but you are more devoted towards your career and the hardworking trait that you have. So that's all about the planets in the 8th house. If you do like this video, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, take care, be safe.